Yes, Sir Hairless here. Today we are going back over 40 years to 1982. This is Toto with Rosanna. This is the opening track from their album Toto 4 of the same year. Toto, to me, their most famous song is Africa, and I'm not actually sure I know any other songs by them. I was going through my very long list of recommendations and I came across this one. I thought, you know what, we have not done an older song in a while, so I polled it over on Patreon and it won. So here we are. Here are the lyrics on the screen. They're fairly self-explanatory. It's about love, longing, someone who's now gone. What's interesting about these is the website I found them on shows who is singing each section. Usually with a band, you'll have the lead singer who sings everything, and maybe there'll be some backing harmonies at certain points. Like I said before, I don't really know Toto. I don't know who the band members are, how many of them there are, and this has made me want to not Google it. I want to keep it a surprise and see the differences between Steve Lukather and Bobby Kimball.
All I wanna do when I wake up in the morning is see your eyes. Rosanna, Rosanna, never thought that a girl like you could ever care for me. Rosanna.
Nice.
All I wanna do in the middle of the evening is hold you tight. Rosanna, Rosanna, I didn't know you were looking for more than I could ever be. Not quite a year since she went away. Rosanna, yeah. Now she's gone and I have to say. Meet you all the way. Meet you all the way.
This is groovy, very interesting, especially the harmonic progression, so the chords that they're using in which order. This bit especially, Meet You All the Way, but I feel like the sections have been changing quite quickly and drastically. So let's carry on until the end of this section. Is this the chorus? I think in the lyrics it said this was the chorus. But yeah, interesting harmony choices, which I'll explain later. Look at these dudes in the background. Groovy. Quite cheesy, but groovy. So 80s. I love it. I love it. A lot to unpack here. I mean, just look at the set, the video, the slap bass that we're hearing just works so well.
Meet you all the way.
All of them with their long, luscious locks. Am I jealous? Of course I am. But we move. Before we get into the music, Rosanna, the actress playing Rosanna, I recognize her. I think I'm going to have to Google because I can't remember. Cynthia Rhodes, Dirty Dancing. When was Dirty Dancing? I feel like that was the later 80s, right? 1987. So was she already famous by this point? Interesting either way. I don't know if things have changed nowadays. You do occasionally have actors or actresses in artists' music videos, but I still find it very interesting when it happens. Right. Let's go over some of what we've heard. If you don't want to hear my thoughts, go to the timestamp. Back to the beginning. It's a groovy beat. Quite Stevie Wonder-esque. I'm almost imagining Superstition to start playing. But then we are introduced to the first musical idea, and that is chordal nature. So chords played. Everything about this song is chordal, and chords and moving around the chords is the harmony in essence. When you change a chord, this becomes your harmonic progression, how you progress through the different chords. It's very simple, really simple. We can hear in the bass, dum, dum, dum. That's G. And guess what key we're in? G major. No changes. which is quite interesting. Normally you'd expect at least one change. Simply put, without changes, it's more risky or more at danger of becoming boring, because as listeners, it's just natural for chords to change in the music. You can have a song where the instruments don't change, the singer doesn't change, the structure, verse, chorus doesn't change, the chords nearly always do change.
All I wanna do when I wake up in the morning is see you rise.
It's still not changed. So you might think, okay, when the melody comes in, we're going to have something really interesting to make up for the static harmony. But no, they do something really clever. They lean into it. They just fully embrace it. So this is Steve Lukather. I'm sorry. Let me know how that one's pronounced. I'll just call him Stevie Boy. Stevie Boy comes in on that note, the root note, G. Because we're in G major. He repeats it many, many times. I often say if a melody has a repeated note, when used well, it can be very catchy. Why? It's simple. It's easy for us to remember. You hear it once, you can sing it back. You don't need to remember intervals and jumps. It's a bouncy rhythm. Da 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 da. And then he just moves up. Da 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 da. So he's just going. Just the major third of G major.
Rosanna, Rosanna.
Now is the first change. 30 seconds in, 30 seconds of one chord and a melody that just exaggerates the fact we haven't moved.
Rosanna, never thought that a girl like
What's the chord now? We've moved from G down one note to F. As far as chord changes go, they don't have to move far. The bass part is a giveaway. We can hear it going. Very simple part for a bass player.
you could ever care for me.
Now it's changed again. So we moved from G to F. Guess where we've just moved? That's right, just down one more to E. But this time it's a minor chord. Minor sounds a bit sadder than major, which sounds a bit happier. So we've gone major, major again, and now minor. But you'll notice that it's all the white notes. If we went major, major, and this last chord was major, you'd have this black note in there. I don't know if that signifies anything, but having just the white notes is very interesting. It's this parallel harmony. You can literally get your hand, put it on the piano, slide it down, and these are the chords we're hearing. In a way, it sounds a little bit unnatural for that reason.
Rosanna.
Now we've gone back to the home key of G. Now, just before Bobby comes in, we get a key change. So let's listen for that. The key change, we've gone from G to F. That's right, the same that we heard before, just down one note. So if the melody before was now, because it's gone down one, we'd think it would be one note lower, which it is, but he's singing it up the octave. So we move from here up to here. That's as big a jump as you can do without reaching the full octave, which is just the same note. In other words, it's as drastic as a change you can make if you're moving up. Bobby's voice, incredible. No vibrato, straight tone, that nasally sound. I've always been so jealous of those guys who just had that range in their chest voice or a bit of a blended voice. That's really high, by the way. This note here that he's arrived on, that's pretty much as high as your typical tenor would be expected to sing, if not a little bit higher.
Rosanna, Rosanna.
That top note, that's what I call your wow operatic tenor moment. So yeah, really high. I do have much more to talk about the harmony from what we've heard so far, but I'm conscious of talking too much, so I'll play a bit more of the song and then pause and then come back and then we'll carry on.
I can see your face still shining through the window on the other side. Rosanna, Rosanna. I didn't know that a girl like you could make me feel so sad. Rosanna.
This seems like a changed section again. Oh, there's just so much I want to talk about pertaining to the video as well. We've got these clicks now. Very West Side Story-esque, as is the video. Immediately I was thinking West Side Story. And from where we carried on, if we have a look on the wall,
Shining through the window on the other side.
Jets. The clothes hanging up here, the set look, it's West Side Story inspired for sure. All right, quick pause. I want to go back and talk a bit more about the harmony that we heard before, and then we'll carry on. So, as we mentioned before, we just had 3 chords. And then briefly, and the bit that we just paused at, we had it earlier. Not, what were the words? Not quite a bit. Not quite a year since you went away. This bit is noticeably different to the rest of the song. It's calmer, softer. We can hear it in the vocals. There's more air to the sound in general. It's the same as where I just paused. Another thing that makes it stand out, it's now minor dominated. The chord that we get, we can hear in the bass. G. Remember how the song starts? G major. Now we're G minor. So basically the sadder variant of the same chord, of the home chord. To change from major to minor, you just change the 3rd note. Major, happy. Minor, sad. Suitable to turn sad when he's talking about it's been time since you went away. He's reminiscing about their older times. She is now gone. This is clear. She's no longer here. That's the first change.
Since you went away.
That bit I think is quite interesting. Structurally it stands out. Rosanna, yeah, it's a bit shorter. And also we get 3 different chords. Those chord changes almost seem a bit drastic. Bum, bum, bum. Before I explain this, I want to keep that idea in our head of closeness when it comes to how they change chords. Like we saw in the beginning, they go. Those chords are very close together, very simple to move. Well, on this Rosanna yeah bit, these chords are close together. They're related closely. I'm going to show you this thing called the circle of fifths. This is it. You don't need to worry about the letter names or these symbols with the flats and the sharps. This is very much a visual thing. Chords that are next to each other are closely related, and that's the important thing here. You can move around this circle and it will sound quite natural, and that's what they've done here. They've moved from E flat to B flat to F, which aren't next to each other on the keyboard, but they're closely related due to their harmony. The next bit meets you all the way, and then they repeat this Rosanna yeah idea. So this is the Rosanna yeah the first time after not quite a year since you went away.
Since you went away, Rosanna, yeah.
Then after the next bit, the meet you all the way bit, let's listen to that Rosanna yeah, see how similar it sounds.
All the way, Rosanna, yeah.
It's essentially identical. There's one subtle difference, and that's the first chord. So beforehand, they went E flat to B flat to F, around the circle of fifths. Well, another way chords are related. This dark green circle around the outside are major chords, the happy chords, and each major chord has a related minor chord, and that's just the difference with this first chord here. Now it's C minor instead of the E flat major, because they're related to each other. Just one is sadder, one is happier. To show you on a keyboard how similar they are, here's the happy one, and here's the sad one. Just one note difference. So this idea, Rosanna, yeah, it comes twice, one after a very soft bit of music. Very soft, long chords. Next time. Disjointed chords, slap bass in there, louder singing. The same idea with one note changed in one of the chords. Such a subtle difference. So that difference, instead of this chord here and then there, it's this one and then there, because we use the related minor chord. They use this idea, the relative minor or relative major, a couple of times as well that we've already seen.
You could ever care for me,
Here.
Rosanna.
So the first chord, E minor. Let's find that on the circle of fifths. Here it is. What's its related major? G major, the home chord, the one that they then change to. Rosanna.
Rosanna.
I really like Stevie Boy's soft, slow vibrato there. So cool, especially how he just changes up the note and back down. And how the vowel sound changes. Another time they do this relative minor to major change. This bit that we've spoken about, not quite a year since she went away. Not quite a year. As we said before, our chord is G minor. On the circle of fifths, let's find it. Here it is. What's its related major chord? B flat major. And guess what chord they changed to? Dum, dum, dum. B flat major. All in all, so far, this is a really interesting song. It's very fun. There are drastic changes between the sections. If it's energetic and bouncy and disjointed, or calmer, more chordal with like an organ and a softer sound. And they're keeping the harmonic changes very simple, either closely moving chords on a piano or using chords that are closely related to each other, as found on the circle of fifths. If you enjoy these videos or find them helpful, please consider supporting me. Patreon has a bunch of exclusive benefits, behind the scenes videos, additional reaction content, Q&A videos, and more. For a one-time donation, you can donate me a hot chocolate at the Buy Me a Coffee link, or become a YouTube member for these groovy emojis and membership badges. And a huge thank you to these lovely people on the screen now. All right, let's carry on.
Rosanna, yeah. Now she's gone, and I have to say, meet you all the way. Meet you all the way. Rosanna, yeah. Meet you all the way. Meet you all the way. Rosanna,
Oh, that was so 80s. I love it. Let's just hear those special moments again. My leg started hurting, by the way, when Cynthia... Oh. How does someone do that? That's insane. Well, that's some good foreshadowing that she'd be in one of the most iconic dance films of all time a few years after this. Anyway, back to these cool bits. I'd love to know if at the time this was super cool, or if it was a tiny bit cheesy or ironic, either the music or the fashion or the dancing.
now she's gone, and I have
Like here, you know, it's a bunch of guys, they're probably, what, in their 30s? And it is quite cool, but it's also not. Do you know what I mean? West Side Story, I do think it's cool, but it's also quite funny because they go around dancing, and I think people born today might struggle to relate to it, considering a lot of the famous artists and dancers and stuff that are around today. So, I mean, I do find it quite cool, but also a bit cheesy. Anyway, let's carry on. Oh, I love those slides. Again, very kind of obvious chord changes there.
she's gone, and I have to say, meet you all the way. Hey girl, meet you all the way. Rosanna, meet you all the way. Meet you all the way.
Some parts of this video are just great. There's not really many new musical ideas. We obviously have the vocal runs. Nice little sax runs as well.
Hey girl,
That bit's funny as well. Look, he's just pressing down 5 keys with one hand. We, of course, don't hear that in the music, because if we did, it would sound like this. But, you know, it's an energetic video. And in the soft bit, I really like the bass singer. Rosanna, yeah. Rosanna, yeah.
all the way. Meet you all the way. Rosanna, yeah. Meet you all the way.
I don't know if I've just got Dirty Dancing in my... Is that Patrick Swayze? I think it is. Is that Patrick Swayze? Patrick Swayze, uncredited role in Toto's Rosanna. So, what, he met Cynthia during this, or they knew each other and one recommended the other for Dirty Dancing? That's amazing. Watching them in this, knowing that they do Dirty Dancing together in the future. I have not noticed Patrick Swayze in the rest of the video though, so either I've just missed that or he wasn't shown much. So that last section fading out, dum, 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 the bass note just repeating. Again, harmonic staticness, no chord changes. It's all about the instruments, granted, but solos, freestyling. The pianist, some unbelievable blues licks there, to be honest. Same with the guitar, so cool. Interesting song, interesting way to end as well. There were a lot of, I don't want to say genre changes, but just so many stylistic differences within the same song, almost drastic. The harmony was changing, but not too significantly. Very fun video, a lot of interesting things in there. Again, I'm torn between cool and cheesy. I just came to look at the comments to see if there are any comments about the video, and the first comment here, fascinating song, multi-genre hopping with pop, classical rock, Motown style pre-chorus, horns, jazz, prog outro, fantastic production and curveball of second verse with the key change sublime. Mark Mitchell 7900. You could not have said it better, my friend. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I look forward to watching this a few more times. Let me know other songs by Toto that I should know that I don't. I think I only know Africa and now this one. And thank you as always for watching, especially if you made it to this point. Would appreciate a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you next time.